Hello everybody from the middle of Ohio and crappy hotel Wi-Fi internet. Here is this week's Hall of Trials video. This week is not a super easy Hall of Trials, but it's pretty free if you have the right units and the gear to put on them. So this week is Zeno, and Zeno is always very full of RNG. Zeno silences on his S1, he has evasion, and when you do evasion on him, he triggers a skill null. And to make it worse this week, you get bonuses for using green mages, and light and dark units are punished with 50% extra damage. You also want to have an attack break on the target. It's almost like they're trying really hard to give Giselle a job. The team that I found works the best, though, is using Ram. If you have Ram from the ReZero collab, she makes this pretty free. So I'm going to show three different teams. The first one with Ram, the second one with Ram and Giselle together, and then a third one for people that don't have either of the collab units where we use Charles. Now for this team, I chose to use Leica. I put her on a damage set, but try to give her enough tankiness so that she could take a hit. The damage is mostly because she's wearing Bloodstone for some extra healing. I put her on the EE that gives increased chance to sleep because that'll help reduce the incoming damage if you can put the adds to sleep. Her built-in target on her S2 really helps with damage. My second unit is a DPS Camilla. I don't think she needs to be DPS, but hey, it helps. The Jacko symbol artifact is optional. You could use Symbol of Unity. I put it on her because of the effectiveness boost to the rest of the team. Kitty Clarissa, you want to run relatively slow, and that's to control the cycling. And I put her on Warhorn just to give extra damage to the rest of the team, and the S1EE to help heal. Ram, I put her on my best rage set. The pen set is optional. It'll help with the transition phases, but doesn't do anything for you during the break phases. I gave her Cruel Mischief. You can also use Caladra, whichever one gives you the highest damage boost. So at the start of fight, Zeno will ignore ER, put buff block and restrict on everybody. Kitty Clarissa is pretty essential for removing this. Not many other units can cleanse all of that in one round and have dual attacks built in. Camilla can give an attack buff, and as long as you got the attack break on the first hit, Camilla dual attacking should push into phase. Here you want to get your target and your 75% a chance attack break to proc. Whenever you get a chance to use Ram's S3, you should, because not only does it do an insane amount of damage, it also gives her greater attack buff. Now she will really start dishing out the damage at almost 700k per hit. I think as long as you get to 3.3 million at this point, you should be able to clear Dagger Sicar. 4 million and it's a shoo-in. And we rolled in at a little over 4.5, 4.6, 4.5. I purposely did not transform Kitty Clarissa again because I wanted her to be able to cleanse this BS off at the beginning of this phase. Now we're starting to stack up some damage, so this is a good time for Leica to use her S3 and try to put those adds to sleep. Except she got silenced because RNG's a thing. So since I can't sleep those adds, I'm going to try to kill at least one of them off, and I'll hit the other one to heal up a little bit, and this should finish it off. So if you can't put the adds to sleep, kill them. And now it's a race to burst Zeno down as quickly as possible before he kills our team. That defense break off of Camilla really cinched it for us. That let us push into the next phase. We've got the target and the attack down, so we are at maximum damage. Unfortunately, no attack buff on Camilla, so no dual attack. We can change Ram's attack buff for a greater attack buff by doing her S3. And now Kitty can transform and we can start racking up the damage. Unfortunately, I have nobody to give Camilla an attack buff, so I will have to waste a turn on her activating her attack buff.
I'll do what I want. You've got a long way to go, kid. Do not fear. Stay calm and think rationally.
8.5 million, so we're already over the 8 million threshold for Dagger Sicar. So even if you aren't able to complete phase 3, which to be honest is not an easy thing to do, but even if you aren't able to complete phase 3, you've still reached your Dagger Sicar goal.
I'll cut your throat.
I'm going to try to take the ads out because they just do too much damage. Here's a good chance to S3. We'll see if we can put the ads to sleep. This will also heal everybody up pretty good because it's an AoE attack into Bloodstone. It pretty much fully healed Leica, and then one hit almost killed Leica again. That's the sins of running a level 50 Leica on DPS gear. We've got the top ad asleep. We'll go ahead and take the hit from the bottom ad. And if I can get an attack break on this one, no attack break. Disappointing. So that hits hard, but not as hard as I would have liked. Here's a nice double tap. We're getting pretty close. Kitty Clarissa is hanging on by a thread. We'll go ahead and go for this dual attack. If I can get a target and an attack down, we might be in good shape. I got both. And down goes Kitty Clarissa, but we can activate Camilla's attack buff and get a dual attack, and that with the attack break or defense break we clear phase. And there's a pretty decent score. 10.5 million. So 2.5 million above Dagger Sicar threshold. So you could be geared a lot worse than I am. And the nice thing about this team is, other than the evasion and not sticking the right debuffs, there's really no RNG to it. It's pretty straightforward and it's a pretty free Dagger Sicar fight. Now, if you don't have Camilla or you just really want to use Giselle, I think you could run Giselle in place of Ram. You're not going to do as much damage, but as long as you are able to clear phase 3, you should be able to complete. But I went ahead and ran the second team. It's the exact same stats as the first team, except instead of Camilla doing dual attacks, you have Giselle going in as extra damage. Now my Giselle doesn't have any Mola in her at all. I'll go ahead and show you her here. So exact same other 3 members of the team, but I put Giselle on a destruction set and gave her Caladra. I guess she does have 3 Mola in her S3, but her S1 completely has no Mola in it, so she's not going to do a lot of damage. But even running her in this state, it's the same fight as before, except instead of Camilla dual attacking with Ram, Giselle works on her own. So I'll skip to the end here real quick. There really is no difference between this fight and the other fight. Ram has the higher attack, which is pretty easy with her passives. I wanted to make sure she was the one that dual attacked, and that Giselle is just there for extra support damage. But as you can see, 8 million with already past the Dagger Sicar threshold, and we haven't even exited stage 2. So this is also a pretty free team. Now, I didn't do so well with this one, and everybody's pretty hurt. Leica and Giselle take a dirt nap. I don't think I will be able to clear with just these two. Try to get rid of one of the ads because I know they're going to pile on damage, but wasn't quite able to get the kill without an attack buff. And of course I trigger skill null because RNG is what it is. If you do a non-attack skill, Zeno's evasion goes up, and if he evades your attack, he will trigger skill null, and that just makes it even harder to complete. So I'll just throw random attacks into him to try to get a little bit more points, but it didn't work out. So 9.1 million on the Giselle Ram combo team, still 1.1 million above Dagger Sicar. Now the problem with Ram and Giselle is they're both limited collab units, and you may not have them. If you don't have either of these units, there is an answer for you. It is a horrible, awful answer. In fact, I recommend you just skip it entirely and do Zeno some other time. But if you are driven, this is how you can do Dagger Sicar without any green mages. Again, I recommend against this because this team is the pinnacle of RNG. But we're going to run the exact same team, but we're going to use Green Charles as our damage dealer. Now, unlike Ram, who has a 75% attack break, Green Charles only has a 60% attack break, and you're relying on the dual attacks from his 33 or 35% chance for his S1 to go into an S2 to rack up extra damage. Of course, you need to run the Cruel Mischief artifact for extra damage during this fight. And we run it basically the same as the other teams, but here's the extra added RNG. So, same as last time, Zeno puts buff block and restrict on everybody. Kitty removes it. To clear this phase, you need to get either an attack break here with a dual attack, and if you don't get the attack break and the dual attack, then Camilla has to stick a defense break on this attack. Without a defense break, it won't be enough damage, and you won't clear into the phase unless you get another dual attack. So we lucked out. But you want to clear this phase so that Leica is the first person to take a turn so you can get the target. Unfortunately, we did not get the attack break on that S1. We got it on the second one, so we can go move forward. I think if you don't get that attack break by the third hit, you quit and start over. Now we just hope for his 33% check for attack to go into smash.
You've got a long way to go, kid.
Attack and no extra proc. And now we're out of dual attacks, so we just kind of have to hope for random dual attacks because we need to save Kitty's S2 to go into the next phase. Maybe we get one more attack into Smash? No. And no dual attacks. 3 million. 3 million I think is the absolute minimum you want to leave stage 1 with. I've had as high as 5 million coming out of this phase. It just all depends on how lucky you are with Charles's S1 into his S2. Kitty cleanses again, and now we're in a serious race to burst Zeno down. So we'll have Kitty transform and get rid of all these nasty debuffs. Hitting Zeno is going to push him, so he is going to go.
Watch and learn.
Now, I thought about not using this because it would wake up that front ad, but the front ad is low enough health. I should be able to kill it with the S3, and the attack buff on everybody is nice. I got the attack break into the smash. That's going to really help push phase. And Kitty's almost dead. I do have attack buff, and if I can get a smash here, no smash. I want to save the S2 because I need that for inside of the next phase.
This is the start. Meow.
At any point in time, those S1 attacks could brick this run with a silence on the wrong unit, and Zeno's ultimate is ready to go off, so you have to push phase before his ultimate goes off a second time. I got the attack break on the first attack. That's very fortunate. 60% chance for that attack break. Now we can start doing damage. Unfortunately, a lot of wasted attacks that happen before Leica gets her target buff off, or target debuff off, but we're still racking up score pretty good. I do need to transform Kitty inside the phase, which means she won't be able to cleanse when we exit, so I probably won't be able to complete. If I can get the target, was not resisted, so we're in good shape. I just need a couple of lucky dual attacks to push the score up a little higher. Charles has not smashed once in this break phase. Okay, we got a smash. That takes us up to 7.2. Have to use the S2 if I can get a smash. Okay, I'm not getting a smash, but this dual attack will push us above 8 million. Oh, and now I get a smash, so 8.8 million. One more hit. Nice, I got a dual attack into Camilla. 9.2 million, so we're 1.2 million above Dagger Sicar threshold. I made that look easy. That was probably 25 runs getting the RNG, relying on a 60% attack break to proc early in both break phases, and not getting 15%ed on the target, and not proccing evasion and skill null, and not having Camilla silenced at the wrong time, and making sure you get the attack buff and the smash into, or attack into smash on the first phase so you clear it before Leica takes a turn. It's maddening. But if you have the patience for it, or the good luck, this is a way to do Dagger Sicar without using any limited units, so maybe it helps you out. And I am definitely not going to be able to clear this, so 9.3 is as far as we go. So that's it. 3 teams of sort. The core is the same, but the damage units are different. Hopefully this helps you clear your Dagger Sicar missions. I think you could potentially replace Camilla with Singelica. She's got an attack break on her S1. It might reduce the RNG a little bit, but Kitty Clarissa is pretty irreplaceable. You could probably ditch Leica, but I think without a Ranger on Bloodstone, you're going to struggle a little bit for healing, and Leica's target on her S2 is money for racking up a higher score. Anyway, it's back to an exciting vendor conference for me, and I hope this video helps you finish your Hall of Trials for this week. If you have questions, ask them in the comments section, and as always, don't forget, like and subscribe. Have a good one, everybody.